What is going on, everybody, and welcome on into the channel. So in today's video, we are talking about my results with a crypto trading bot that has done all the work for me. I have literally set this up, forgotten about it for 1 month. I'm going to talk about those results here today in this video, all about the bot, different options, all that cool stuff. And we'll see if we actually made money. Can we rely on this bot and what it's returning right now and the projections for this going forward. Should be pretty quick to the point, and hopefully you get something out of the video. So if you do, all we ask, hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing for more videos in the future. So right now, cryptocurrency, we're seeing some rocky times. We're seeing some ups, we're seeing some downs. We go to our good friends over here on Webull and we go look at Bitcoin. By the way, you can get up to 5 free stocks now with Webull in the link down below. And we take a look at Bitcoin, right? And it hit up to over, $65,000, well up into that range, and has been pulling back since. Now, we, of course, have to understand if we broaden this chart out, we look at this over history, yeah, it's up a ton, okay? It is certainly up a ton. But that said, the choppiness could be very difficult for somebody who may be emotional, is dealing with their own money, and is like, I don't know what to do. I don't have a system or plan in place. And so that's kind of where the trading bot idea comes in. And it's something that I've thought about. It's something that you kind of think about with stocks even too. And we know that algorithms make up the majority of the stock market, right? 80% or so of the actual volume that's traded is not by people clicking buttons on their computer. It's by algorithms. So this idea of an algorithm, this idea of a bot that could trade for you kind of becomes interesting. Now, again, we take a step back and think about this. Do I really care? Do I really want my bot to produce me 1,000,000% returns every year? No. But if my bot could compound my account, or could compound and ultimately, right, as I build more money in the account, still achieve similar returns, that compound over time, it's pretty important. It's pretty interesting because I'm not doing anything, right? I'm letting the bot do its work, do the work for me. So this is where I kind of got intrigued, and a company reached out and they said, hey, we'll give you $1,000 and we will ultimately let you see how this goes. Give it a shot. And ultimately, you can make a decision if you want to continue, you want to add more money, or you want to share this, right? And so I said, I'll do that. Sure, let's see how it goes. And this is not going to be a biased video by any means. We're going to just literally go into the results and see exactly what happened, because it's something that I just opened back up for the first time in a couple of months. Now, really quick before we dive into that, my ultimate thoughts on crypto. I think we're going to see a lot of volatility in the short term. Do I think that we have topped? I don't really know. I'm not a crypto expert by any means. I would not be surprised if we have topped in the short term. But in the long term, I definitely think that we could see Bitcoin making that move to 100K, 200K, 500K, dare we say even further, longer term. And I'm talking 3, 5, 10 years down the road. So I have some crypto holdings. I have some accounts. I have my money set aside. Not a huge amount, but I have a decent amount that if we do end up seeing those types of returns and those moves in the long term, I'm there for it. I'll be able to capitalize, and that is that. Now, ultimately, I would go heavier if we do get to a period where Bitcoin comes down into that, sub 30K range again, or sub 40K range, and Bitcoin is, getting really oversold, or relatively oversold, and the sentiment, everyone's like, oh man, here we go again, bear market for Bitcoin. That's when I'd look to start maybe picking up some Bitcoin, adding some to a longer term position, and buying some more. But right now, I'm not looking to buy any more than I currently have. I'm going to be good with what I got, and I'm going to let that ride. There's also a video on this channel. If you guys want to go back, I talk about kind of my view on crypto going forward. That is a great video to go back and reference. I also talk about a platform on that video that I'm using to actually buy and sell crypto, which has actually been really cool. And I've loved that platform so far. Check it out down below. But this video is also sponsored by Pinex, because they gave me $1,000 to go ahead and test out the bot. Here is the bot, okay? We have the spot futures arbitrage trading bot, okay? Now, this bot, we can customize bots. I'll show you how to do that here in just 1 second. But they reached out, they gave me $1,000, and they said, okay, give it a shot and see how it goes. Here we go into what we have seen from this bot. As we zoom in and take a look, we had an initial investment of $1,000, and our arbitrage profit so far has been $5.16, almost $5.17, a 0.51% return. Now, if I scroll down to the bottom, I opened this account, or I started this bot on the 19th of November, 2021. At the time, there was an open fee to start up to ultimately begin using this bot to run the bot of 57 cents. Okay, that was the fee that I had to pay, about 0.0571%. Okay, since then it has been running, And what we see is that every 8 hours, this essentially realizes a gain or a loss. And what we've been noticing here is that every 8 hours or so, I've been able to the bot has been able to make me 6 cents. So, okay, well, 6 cents in reality sounds like, okay, what's that even matter? Who cares? Again, I didn't have to do anything. 6 cents every 8 hours, I didn't have to do anything. And take a look, as we scroll up, look through the past couple weeks, we notice that this bot, sometimes we hit 9 cents, sometimes we got 7 cents, we even got a 10 cent here. We take a look at the ROI, it gives me the ROI on that gain or loss. And then it tells me what would be the APR, right? The annual percentage return. What would that be if we keep going at this rate? So obviously the bot will have an average, and as we can see right now, it'll tell me the average. We'll look at that too. This is pretty cool because I didn't have to do anything. If I can make, 5, 7, 10, up to 20% on my money without having to do anything, it's a pretty cool way, or an interesting kind of take on a savings account or stashing money away to some degree, right? So as we scroll up, we have that even had a 20-cent day or a 20-cent 8-hour window. It was awesome to see as I scroll through, but we can kind of see for the most part, we're looking in that, 5 cent, 6 cent, 10 cent range, somewhere in there. Now, as we scroll up, let's see if we find any losses. Okay, let's go up. We keep seeing just all solid profits. We have a loss. And we had a loss here, and it wasn't even 1 cent. It was 0.002531. Okay, so at that pace, that would be a small loss in terms of that 8-hour window, but we came back and made 5 cents after that, so recovered that loss and some in the next 8-hour window. So as I scroll through, right, we can kind of see how much time is left until the next profit is realized. And so what we see overall on this bot, we have our fee, we have our unrealized profit right now because it's currently running, and then we have our total profit right now based on kind of the unrealized and based on a lot of good stuff. Today's APR, we're up roughly 5.74%, so annual percentage return. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. 7-day APR, 5.5 is the average, and the history APR so far here, we're looking at 7.25%. So a couple things to note. The overall stock market on average returns us 10% per year. This coming in right now, this bot, based on the customizations, based on the way that I am running it right now, is just under that. But it's an interesting take on a savings or an investment account, right? So it's another kind of way, I guess, in a sense, to diversify, if you want to call it that. On top of that, we have to also take into account the volatility in Bitcoin, right? That will definitely affect things. So here's Pinex, and if I want to utilize this platform or I want to go deeper into other bots, here's how I would go ahead and do that. So here's their platform. It looks pretty cool, simple to use, very, very simple, easy. Charts are by TradingView. Over on the right-hand side, I can go to the manual. I can go buy and sell manually if I would like to, but the trading bot is kind of what got my attention. There are plenty more bots where that came from, okay? So if we scroll down, we are using a spot futures bot right here. So if I was to go in here and click on create a spot futures bot, that is essentially what I have done, okay? Using my account, okay? But this returns 15 to 50% APR with low risk. That's at least what they're telling us right now. There are plenty other bots where that came from, but each of these bots is going to kind of be for a different purpose. So we have advanced grid trading bots, we have smart bots, we have trailing stops, different types of trailing buys, all that good stuff. We have BTC Moon, easy to start. Take a look at this, wide price range, 500 grids, long-term strategy. So a longer-term Bitcoin strategy bot right there. We even have, let's say, a grid trading bot, auto buys and sells at certain levels. Auto buy, so low, and sell high, right? It's kind of the intention behind that bot. Now, back testing this annualized return right now, based on the past 7 days, 96, almost 97% return. So this is where different bots can return much, much higher levels. The reason why I went with the one that I went with is because it is one of the lower risk bots. So the spot futures arbitrage bot, that is fairly straightforward, okay? Now, if you take a look, if you're just trading Bitcoin, the past 7 days, APR 11.6, 30 days, 22%, past 180 days, average, 8.56% APR. Pretty good, if you ask me. Now, you can go to different coins and utilize different coins. Personally, I'd feel a lot more comfortable Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that, the big names, that's it. But there's even more advanced settings. I can utilize different leverage options. So I can use 2x leverage, or I can even use 3x leverage. And as we see, if I utilize 3x leverage, that's going to change the current APR that we're noticing on the bot. I personally am not doing that, but you could go ahead and do so. And in doing so, right, that could alter your P&L, ultimately alter your bot returns over time. They even have a tutorial feature right here, so you can kind of learn how this stuff works, what the arbitrage bot does, and all that good stuff, which I would highly recommend you look into these things before you ever get started off with a bot, okay? But as you guys can see, the more money in the account, the more obviously you're gonna make based on this bot running. Now, there's always risk to this, there certainly is, but I wanted to share my experience, and that is with Pinex.com, a really cool place to get access to some cool cryptocurrency trading bots. I do want to thank Pinex for sponsoring this video, but I also want to say that I am going to let this run. I have no intentions of taking this money out. They gave me $1,000 to utilize for the example for this kind of test. I can't take $1,000 out. I can only take out the profits, but this is pretty cool. And I would very much consider adding more to this going forward or testing out other bots in the future. I definitely like a hands-off approach to my cryptocurrency and ultimately, right, holding my Bitcoin, holding my Ethereum, holding my bigger name coins long-term, and then ultimately letting something like this run in the background is a cool way to kind of diversify a savings or diversify an income stream, if you want to call it that, depending on how much money you have to play with opening up an account. There you guys have it. Thanks so much for watching. Links and resources down below. I'll leave a link down below to Pinex if you want to check them out. You want to get signed up with your own bot. That'll be linked in the description box and pinned comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. The thumbs up button, consider subscribing, and we'll see you guys in a future video. Peace.